Okay guys, so let's discuss these amazing language patterns. So let's imagine a business setting. Okay, so business setting number one. A person tells you that this product is very expensive. How could you reply? So let's take any language trick. So a language trick of importance criteria, hierarchy of criteria. This means if people tell you that the product is give me the music, right? Lower the music. Okay. So if they tell you that the product is expensive, hierarchy of criteria is, imagine the stone of Moses when he gave the 10 commandments to follow and obey, right? So it's about importance. What is more important? So for example, a person tells you this product is expensive. You can tell them it's more important to have peace and tranquility and not to worry about this problem. If you solve any problem, you teach English or you do anything, you sell cars, you sell whatever you sell, you tell them what your product is solving and you say, guys, this is like your peace and your personal power is more important than the struggle of life. So even if you think it's expensive, the value you get is important, is more important than the price. So next language pattern is metaphor. Metaphor is analogy or story or quote that you use to reply and give a meaning to the person. So if he says your product is expensive, you can tell them that speaking of expensive you sound like a blind guy who just touched an ear of an elephant and thinks that an elephant is an ear. You know, like you think that's like you have not considered anything and you only say that's expensive. I mean, you sound ridiculous, right? Or you can take it to the next level. You can say provocatively, it's not expensive, it's priceless. You know, you can play it like that. So this is metaphor, analogy, story, metaphor. You give them stories of a kid. Imagine a kid walking blindly and falling on dirt and screaming that, you know, wilderness is dirt. So you have to be realistic, right? So you give them a story, give them an analogy. Another outcome is a crazy, so let me say another outcome. Another outcome is when you change topics. It's not about this, it's about that. People tell you that's, for example, your product is expensive. You can tell them, it's not about the price. It's about the quality. It's about the hours we spent to create it. It's about the production. It's about the materials. It's not about me raising the price to unlimited amount. Like it's not about money. It's about the quality. You see, if people think that if people think that your product is just zeros, if you, for example, sell a product for $1,000, so it's not just an extra zeros that you place, right? Although you have the right to, but you tell them it's not about the extra zeros. It's about the real quality. It's about the materials or whatever you want to imply. Another outcome. If people tell you your product is expensive, you can use this language pattern. It's called chunking down. Basically, imagine a knife, you cut. So the product is expensive, you ask them, what is expensive? Which product are you talking about and what is expensive? What exactly is expensive and which product are you, you let them explain what is expensive, which product, what do you mean? Can you explain more? You can use it when you're not sure what they mean by expensive or which product, right? You can chunk it down. This is generalization. You generalize. So for example, people say your product is expensive. You can say you can generalize the situation and make it normal. You can say every company has a premium product and all companies have customers. Every company has a customer who can't purchase its products, right? It's normal. It's not something new. So if it's not in your budget, that's totally fine. Hundreds of companies have had the same experience. Hundreds of companies had customers not able to pay. So that's not special. That's not new. I mean, that's totally fine. I'm not the only one who sells a pen for $1,000. There's many companies, so that's not a shame. That's not bad. So you generalize. The next language trick is counterexample. Counterexample. A person tells you your product is expensive, so you can tell them, okay, have you had a situation or a moment where you bought an expensive product and are happy with it? Right? Your product is expensive, and then you give them a different example. Okay, so does it mean you have never, so like, your product is expensive. Okay, you try to understand what do they mean by that, but you can also say, okay, have you ever purchased something expensive? Have you ever made a decision to buy anything expensive that was worthwhile? Or you can give them another example. You can give them another example. You can tell them, I personally purchased expensive headphones and I'm still happy with them. 2 years passed and I still use them. Or, I know a buddy of mine, he purchased only expensive products and he has high quality life. He doesn't spend money twice. You can give them a counterexample. Consequence. Consequence means if people tell you that your product is expensive, you can say, okay, in the long run, you're going to save a lot of money because we give, let's say, two-year guarantee or 3-year guarantee, or you will save extra money down the road. You will save money. So, you tell them how much money will they save in the long run. Next we have mirror. The mirror principle, or the apply to self. So for example, here you tell them, have you, like, this is you reflect back. So they say it's expensive. You say, have you not bought, like, do you remember a moment when you bought something expensive and you were happy with it? You reflect back. So you tell me it's expensive. Do you mean you have never bought anything expensive? You did, right? So what's your problem now, right? So you let them reflect. This language pattern, intention. Assuming you understand people and what they mean and how they speak, you can call them on their bullshit. So if they say this product is expensive and you know and sense that they want to just say goodbye, you can tell them, are you trying to politely dismiss this whole process and say bye? You can be honest with me. You can tell me I don't want to buy it and I'm not going to pressure you. It's okay. You don't have to give me excuses, So you can call it as it is. Or you can ask them, what do you mean? Redefine. Redefine is when you say it's not expensive. It's not expensive, it's just out of your league. Right? So you redefine. You say it's not A, it's B. It's not expensive, it's valuable. It's not expensive, it's actually valuable. It's worthy. You redefine it. Or you can use worldview. Worldview is basically when you speak to them from their world perspective. If you speak to a traditional person, you use traditional values. So you say it's all about taking care of your family. It's all about being the man to provide, regardless what it takes. We provide the best quality, and so by doing this, you're doing your family a huge service. So, understanding where they're coming from. If they are a religious person, you speak from that prism.